This is actually my sister's four-wheeler that, let's just say, an acquaintance of hers had it, and they had a disagreement, and supposedly she was told that he ran it with no oil in it. So it has a dead battery, which I'm trying to charge, but it's not really taking a charge, so that's going to have to get replaced. It also supposedly has a bad intake valve. Not sure if it just needs to be adjusted or needs a new intake valve. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Right now, if the battery doesn't die in the camera, I'd like to try and change the oil or see if there is any. I checked the dipstick and it's showing that there is oil up here. Now, to be completely honest, I'm not familiar with these and don't really know much. The oil's dark, so it's not new oil, and it's where it should be, up here. But like I said, there's a drain plug on the bottom, and I'm not really familiar. And I'm going to try and drain this and see what we find out of the bottom of the crank. It was on super tight. This acquaintance of hers isn't a very bright guy, so I had to use a breaker bar to get it loose. Well, we got oil coming out. Not sure how much, but there is oil coming out, which is a good sign from what she was told. I don't think that he would have ran it. He did it on purpose, is what she was told. Don't think he would have ran it dry and then put the old oil back in. I think if he was screwing her over, he would have left it out and just said, screw it. So I'm going to let that drain, and then I'm going to go through it and see if I can find any metal shavings or anything like that. But just a quick little recap of the system on here, oil setup, is there's a dipstick, goes down in a little tube there. You got your oil just below. There's a little hole you can see right here where you go up from underneath with a 17mm socket. Now, the fuel filter, or I'm sorry, oil filter is, let me see if I can get in there, there's no light. Right here, you gotta take these Allen set screws out and take your oil filter out. Or at least that's what I've read. I guess I'll cross that when I get to it. We don't have a spare filter. I'm not sure what these two plugs are. I took them out and I'm assuming it's to check levels of fluids, but I'm not entirely positive. If anybody wants to comment on that, it'd be much appreciated. Now, the oil reservoir is actually up underneath here from what I've seen, and once again, I'm not exactly familiar with these, but this looks to be the oil reservoir, and I believe I have to drain that too to see everything. But I didn't see any videos on YouTube about this particular setup and changing the oil, so I figured I'd just shoot this for anybody else that has any of these questions. I was out here anyway and it was cold, so figured I'd just make a video. Also, if you have any advice on anything that I'm doing, please feel free to comment. Like I said, it'd be much appreciative since I am not familiar with these and kind of learning as I go. So hopefully it turns out for her. Hopefully it was just a rumor that she heard and this isn't true, but we'll see. Thanks for watching. Just a little update or addition to the video. I took the drain plug out. I hope you can see this if the camera focuses. There's a little bit of sludge on here and the magnet, I guess metal shavings. So I'm a little concerned about that. It's more than normal, I believe. Now, referring back to my last video, that I'm not familiar with this setup. I believe from what I read that the transmission also uses this oil as lubrication. So I'm not sure if this is normal to have this kind of shavings in there. Let me see if I can find that piece. There's a sliver in here. I'm not seeing it now. It must have fell off or something. There's an actual sliver of metal in here. And I see some gold flakes in here. I'm not sure the lighting's there. You can kind of see the gold flakes, which isn't a good sign, I don't think. So you can kind of see some gold flakes in the metal in here too. There's a couple big gold flakes right in here. You can see them, they're kind of shiny. But maybe that rumor that she heard is true, because I don't believe it should have this many filings. I'll have to read. Hopefully I can find a forum or something on these, and they can take a look at this video, somebody that knows more about these than me, and see if that is normal for this, if it